Hi everyone, I'm Jess with KinderStamp and welcome to Hallmark Live. Um, as you guys know, I just recently got back from CHA, so um, getting time to actually make up a project was probably a little bit of a challenge this week because I just had to make sure that I got a chance to catch up with my kids. And if you've been following my Facebook page, you see that I've been doing a lot of kitty things. Hey Eileen! So what I decided to do tonight is I'm going to do a really improv thing. I don't do these very often. It's going to be more of a mixed media thing. I have a lot of stamps and a lot of adhesives and a lot of Faber-Castell yummy stuff that I picked up at Shop that I figured I can work with. And these stamps right here, which are the ones that we'll be featuring today, are awesome rubber stamps by Unity Stamp Company. I'm sure all of you guys know who they are. If you don't, you can look them up on Facebook. Hey, Angela! And there she goes, the Queen of Unity. They're absolutely fabulous. If you guys are rubber stamp junkies like I am, or just stamp junkies in general, these are absolutely the best quality stamps out there. They're so super thick. I love the fact that they come already pre-mounted and they have little clings so you can just go ahead and put them on one of your acrylic blocks. So you literally don't even need to think about them. You can just get them and start playing with them. And the images are just so super clear and absolutely beautiful. And what I love about their style is that it's just very personal and warm and loving. Everything just has, you can tell that there's a lot of heart in all of the images that come out from Unity. So it just makes it fun to craft with them. So you can use them for just card making or mini albums or just mixed media. That's just like the new thing now and everyone's using it. So it's great to be able to use your products in all kinds of different ways. Um, so that's what we're going to be featuring. And I'll show you the stamps too. But another thing that I'm going to be showing tonight is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her, but if you're not, her name is Susan K. Weckesser. She's out of Canada. She's a really awesome artist. She's just recently partnered with Unity. Actually, she's been with them a little while, but this has been one of her bigger launches. So I think she has probably like 12 or so sets. And they're just really cool. So I'll show you that. But she also has a coordinating paper line that was launched by, I believe it's Want to Scraps. So I'll show you that as well. And again, really fun stuff that you can use with mixed media. So let's run through the stamps. And then I'll show you the papers. And then here goes my little art journal that we're going to be playing with today. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so here we go. So here's the first stamp set that I'm going to be playing with, and this one is called Fly Away. I love this because you guys know that I'm like a super faux stitching junkie. So I love the fact that these actually look like little pieces of art that are hanging from kind of like your, I don't know, it reminds me of like my elementary school play set. So it's like when we had a play and there was like a theme and then we had to make things out of cutouts and we would just dangle them from the set in the auditorium. That's exactly what these remind me of them. So there's, yes, props, absolutely. So super cute. So here goes the little cloud, and here goes the sun. And of course, if you don't want to use the little strings, of course you can cut it off and fuzzy cut it. This kite is just super sweet. The tail has all these little ribbons. So lots of fun. And I'll take them out because the images don't do them any justice. These stamps are ginormous. So here goes the sun on my hand, and of course I have it backwards, but there goes the sun, and then here goes the little cloud, which is not little at all, it's giant. And then here goes the kite. Isn't the cloud awesome, Lemore? I know. Anyone that works with mixed media needs a really good cloud, and that's a really good cloud. Alright, let me fix my chair because I feel like I'm about to fall off from it. Oh, and guess what? I found another stamp set on the floor that I need to show you. So here goes another stamp set that she came out with. It's really fun. It's kind of looks like fossilized leaves. Can you see that? Super pretty, and there's like maple leaves, all kinds of pretty leaves in here, and I'll take these out as well. You need it for your mixed media class, Lemore? Oh, and just so you guys know, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you go on the Unity Stamp Company page, these stamps today, I believe, are 35% off or something. And if Angela's still in here or someone that that can get the Unity link, absolutely put it so you guys can see it. It's 35% off. So I think some sets are like $9. So you're never going to get a deal that good ever again. So if you love them and want to play with them, now's the time to really try them out. So here goes that really pretty leaf. Awesome for backgrounds. Again, this one kind of looks like a little pine. And then I'm not really good with leaves, but here goes another one. And this reminds me of a rose leaf. So I love this one. So again, super pretty. Oh, and there goes the link. So you guys can go check out. I don't have all of the sets. I only have 4 sets. And there's a lot more. So you'll definitely see them on this site. Here goes another one that is absolutely awesome. This one's called Little Haven, and it's not little. Check out the size of this stamp. How ginormous is that? 19 sets. I think Unity has really good shipping to Canada. So check this out. I know, Lemore, this is one that you absolutely need for your mixed media. How ginormous is that? And it's awesome because the pieces are really big, so they're good for fuzzy cutting. So if you like doing just stamping on different pieces of paper and cutting them out, it's really thoughtless. You don't have to really think about it when you cut them because they're pretty much straight lines, and you'll get a really absolutely beautiful image. So love, love, love this. And then this one comes with an actual sentiment, and it's just a home sentiment in a vintage type font. And again, how ginormous is that? These are huge, huge, huge stamps. So that goes with that. And then here actually is my absolute favorite. When I saw this, I actually had to like beg to get it because I knew that everyone else was going to want it. But how gorgeous is this? It's like a paper doll, but it's not like, you know, a little girly paper doll. It's more mature and sophisticated. Really fun for mixed media. So here goes, this is a girl. And then these are just 2 outfits. So one is a dress. And I think this is kind of like a, is it like bootcut pants or is it a dress too? I'm not sure, but it's super cute. And then it has this sweet little hat that you can put on her. So fun. And again, check out the size of these. They're ginormous. So let me just show you them. And there goes that one. It's a dress. Cool. And she has like little balloon sleeves, which is so cute. Kind of sailor-like. I love it. And then what's super cute too is that it actually has the little tabs for paper dolls. And then on the side of this one right here, there's an actual sentiment. And it says, cut along here. So absolutely really, really fun. So that's that set. Eileen, isn't this fun? Yeah, I think you need this one too, Eileen. This would go awesome with your new dies for sure. So there goes that. And then here goes her paper collection that she came out with. I believe this one is being distributed by 1-2 Scrap. So you guys may want to just go there and check it out. So they're just really bright, fun colors with like watercoloring and just some doodling. But it's not your typical black doodling. She actually is doodling with like crayons and watercolor pencils. So it's super fun and kind of different. Hey! So this one is, I love it because it's kind of like a craft color in the background, and then it has all of these fun words in here, and just with like little paint splatters everywhere. And it says, live your life in full color on this one. And then they're all double-sided, and as you can hear, they're super thick. Can you guys hear that? Super fun. And then this one right here has a really fun stenciled kind of background. And again, I love the soft colors because it doesn't have any of the black doodling, so really fun for mixed media because I know that we like to do a lot of doodling with like black markers and India inks, so we can add those details to the paper and make it our own, which is fun. And then here goes another one of those pretty little houses, and I think she came out with like maybe 3 or 4 stamp sets with Unity that are houses. So the one that I showed you is only one of the many that she has. So You can go on the site and see how many more she has. You know you can never have too many houses. So, and again, all super big. So that's this one. And this one is called Live, Love, Create. And then here goes this one. Super pretty, kind of a sunny day kind of background. This one is called Beautiful Daydreams. Really perfect for what it is. Pretty little flowers. Again, a lot of splatters, but you can see that the light's coming through the paper. Hey, Carla. And then the back, again, super pretty background. Lots of little details, lines, and faux stitching on it. Soft colors, which again are really, really great because a lot of times with mixed media, we want to add a lot of textures and details, but we don't want what we're using to overpower what we're doing. So I love that this is not one of those crazy, super bright and bold papers. So that's the second one. And then here goes another one for those of you who are like card makers and mini album junkies. These are these awesome, awesome giant pieces. You can absolutely put this on the front of a card, the front of a mini, use it as a journaling spot. The link to this paper set, do you guys want me to look it up? Tanya, you know I'm going to goof it up. Tanya, if you look on One Two Scraps Facebook page, they probably should have a link to their to their, what do you call it? To their website, and I'm not sure if they sell directly on their website, but I know that they were at CHA, and I'm sure that your local stores will be carrying it, and if they're not, you guys know what to do, right? Beg them to. So if you don't find it, I'll definitely send you the link after this. I'll post it on my page so you guys can look it up. Hey, Cindy, no worries. I know you were hanging out with your girlfriends, so obviously I hope you had a good time with them. So here goes really fun sentiments. So here goes live in full color, live to create, tickled pink. I love this little heart. Paint the town red, live, love, create, green with envy, feeling blue. I love this. This is so pretty. I love these little flowers. Good as gold. And then this one's just like a little journaling spot with a sweet little bird. Isn't that cute? Love this one. And then this one's called Living Color Tags. And then the back is just a really neutral paper. Again, kind of a craft color, but again, super, super duper thick. So super pretty. And then here goes another one. Just fun circles. Hey, little paper sprinkles. So lots and lots of fun circles. And this one is called Color Burst. And then the background has a really neutral kind of resist colored polka dot, with just like fun splatters on it. Yeah, Carla, isn't it fun? Oh my God. And this is like one of my favorites because this is one of those things that if you're just starting in mixed media and you're afraid of getting yourself really drenched up with paint, this is a good way to start. Seriously, because she's already done all of the work for you. So you don't have to do any of the painting because this piece of paper will actually make it seem like you've done it already. So if you add a little bit of splatters and little touches here and sprays of Smash, it'll look like you're an absolute like professional mixed media artist without having to do all of the crazy messy work that a lot of us like to do. I know that's fun to do, but a lot of times when you're short for time, this is one of those papers that would be really, really fun to use. So that one was Color Burst. And then let's see. Oh my God, look at this. Live in Color. Super pretty. Just some fun doodles that she did. Again, some stitching. This is all hand drawn on here, which is super fun. Super bright, pretty colors. And then again, I love this background. It just has a lot of texture, but yet it's one solid piece of paper, which is fun. And then on the bottom, it has these pretty little flowers on it. And actually the background has kind of like a distressed kind of grid or brick layout. I think it might be more of a grid. But again, super pretty. Lots of fun little neutral splatters. Dragoness, the stamps are from Unity Stamp Company. And then here is the last one, I believe. And again, super pretty. Looks like a fence background. Again, lots of neutrals and browns. Oh, gotta turn off my phone. Little birdie. And this one is called Bouquet. And then the background is, again, another super pretty reddish, turquoise, white, distressed kind of background. Yeah, absolutely. Looks totally hand painted. That's what I love about them, Cindy, that they absolutely look like they've been done. Hey, Susan! Isn't that fun? All right, guys, so I had no idea she was going to be here, but Susan is actually here, and she's the designer of all of the papers and the stamps. She's the one that partnered with One to Scraps and with Unity Stamp Company to launch these two amazing collections. So if you guys have any questions, definitely reach out to her. Susan, folks are asking where they can get your paper collections. So if you can share information on that, that would be awesome. And Angela already shared where they can get your stamps, and we told them about the 35% off sale that she's running on the site today. So that's super, super fun. So there goes that. So I'm going to move the papers over to the side, and I'm just going to breathe for a second and see if you guys have any questions before I get started. So just want to make sure there's no questions. Okay, see, so One to Scraps does have it available on their site, so that's awesome. So you guys can go on there and check it out. Perfect. All right, so like I said, I didn't really have a plan on what I was going to do today, but I know that I'm going to do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just kind of creating a background on my art journal, and I'll move this over to the side. And this is just your typical mixed media art journal. This one is by Canson. You can get it at any of your local, what is it, big box craft stores. Hey Christina, yeah, I am recording. You can also get it at some of your local scrapbook stores. A lot of the local scrapbook stores are starting to carry a lot more product for mixed media, which is awesome because it's a new trend. Actually, it's not so new, but a lot of people are picking it up now. So it's great that they are carrying it. But what's fun about this paper is that it's really thick. It's 98 pounds. It's perfect for watercoloring. It's perfect for pen, pencil, acrylic. You can lay glue on it. You can decoupage it. So it's a pretty good quality paper. So what I'm going to do is, I know you guys probably are going to think I'm crazy for doing this, but I'm just going to start tearing papers up and gluing them on here. And of course, I'll be gluing them with my Helmar adhesives. So I'm just randomly tearing pieces and just creating layers. So I'm just going to be doing that, and I'm going to be using the Helmar acid-free glue. For those of you that don't know, Helmar also carries a decoupage and craft paste, which is really awesome. I unfortunately do not have a brush today, so I can't stick my nails in there because my fingers are just too chunky. So I'm not really going to use this one today, but I did test out the acid-free glue, and it works really well when you don't have a decoupage. And I know that this one is a little bit easier to find. So if you guys can't find your traditional decoupage and craft paste, the acid-free glue is really well. And one of the things that's really fun, since I'm going to be adding a lot of textures and stuff and paints onto here, you can absolutely put this on top of your paper and create a seal. And then you can use all of your India inks and your pan pastels and all of the gelatos, and it'll work really well. So I've tested that, and I actually have a little piece on the side so I can show you later exactly how I've used it. So let's get to gluing. So I'm just going to put some here like this, and I'm not afraid if it gets out of the side of the page, because again, I want to put a light coat on top of the paper just so that I can create some kind of seal. Yeah, acid-free glue is an awesome all-purpose glue. And I think for those of you guys who haven't picked up Helmar yet, I think Christina from Your Memories Here carries some of the products on her online store. So if you guys haven't gotten it yet, you can definitely go to her store and check it out. She's got all kinds of other yummy stuff on there too. So lots of things that you can use to glue with. So I'm just going to randomly keep going. This paper is really, really thick, so I put a pretty good, generous amount of glue on here because I wanted to make sure that it sticks down pretty good and it doesn't lift as much. Let's see if I can find some other colors that are going to work. Here goes that craft paper again. And I want to see those white ripped edges, so I'm going to put those on there too. Susan, am I making your stomach turn because I'm ripping up your papers? I hope not. So just ripping and gluing and ripping and gluing. And then since I'm kind of just doing the background now, if you guys have any questions, definitely ask. And you guys see that I kind of layer stuff over here and then I decide to move them along. That's kind of how my crazy brain works. So I decided I'm going to kind of put a girl here somewhere along the way, and I figured if I have a neutral background on the back, that'll probably work better. So, and I love this splattered here, so I'm going to rip this puppy up here. And again, I love the white edges, so I'm going to keep tearing and gluing. I can't believe how thick this paper is. It's super duper thick. This is really awesome. This is a really good quality paper if you want to make any kind of boxes or cut it with your Sizzix and your Big Shot or your Cuddle one. Because you don't need to put any, what do you call it, chipboard or anything on it because it is super, super solid. So just adding some here. You love the circles? I know, I just ripped them up, didn't I? Just kind of flattening out, make sure that it lays nicely on here. And let's see. Let's find another color here that I can rip up. Maybe some blue. You have matching circle stamps too? Hey, I didn't know that. I know, I was stalking the Unity site today, so I need to go back and look at it. It's like trying to get back to normal life after being at CHA is not really easy because it's like your head is completely spinning from all of the ideas that you see and the things that you're inspired by, and of course the long list of things that you want to get. So it's crazy. Lemore, there goes that circle stamp link. Yeah, that's one of those stamps that I know that once you get it, you'll absolutely use it over and over. It's one of those like kind of staple signature kind of shapes that regardless of what the theme of your project is or what you're working on, or you can always use it over and over. And I like those kind of universal types of products. So just laying it there. And let's see. I need something else here somewhere. Just fill in some of the gaps. Maybe I'll grab some of this letter paper here. I know, it's so weird because Angela, I kept seeing you like from the corner of my eye, and every time I went to go say hi, I kind of lost you. It's like the craziest thing. I think I saw Christian for like 2 seconds while I was running around like a maniac. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, but literally, I think I saw him for like, it might have been like 0.5 seconds. How about that? I was like, hi, Christian. Where's Angela? Bye, Christian. Yep, this is Helmer acid-free glue. Just your everyday all-purpose glue. No fancy stuff here. Just works really perfect for adhering paper down. And again, like I said, it's really good. It's really good if you don't have kind of like a decoupage adhesive, because I've already tested it and it actually works really well as a sealant as well. So if you're running low on your decoupage or any of those other products that we use, you know, the fancy stuff, this works just as well. It just doesn't say that that's what it's for. Okay, so I'm going to put this one right here. He said he saw me. Did he say I looked like a chicken without a head running around? Alright, so I know I'm one of those people that don't do as much mixed media as I should because I'm afraid of making a big old mess. So I try to clean up as I go, but it's not really working out. But alright, let's see. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I've kind of created this background, it's just adding texture because I have all of this white space here. I'm going to add some of these leaves on the back. And I'm just going to use my Ranger Archival ink. And this is just to add some more definition to the paper. You can go ahead and use a block. You don't have to. Like I said, these are super awesome quality stamps. So if you use a block, it's just because you want to be a perfectionist. But like I said, in mixed media, there's no such thing as perfection. It's whatever you wish goes. So just grab an ink and just stamp it up around and just kind of creating a background. And I'm going to be adding paint and stuff, so if you guys think the black is just a little bit too much, I'm going to soften it up in a minute. So no worries. And then I'm just going to stamp off so that I have some lighter areas. And let's grab another one of these stamps. Let's get this one right here. I'm just going to ink it up. And again, just stamp it off to kind of clean it. So this is actually the best way of cleaning your stamps once you're done stamping, because you don't have to worry about actually pulling out your cleaners and stuff. You could just use your background to clean it off. Isn't that beautiful, Eileen? Doesn't it look like a fossilized kind of leaf? I know I'm probably using the wrong term, but that's what it looks like to me, and I think it's awesome. Alright, so now we're going to go crazy, and I have all kinds of paints here. Nothing special, just your everyday craft paint that you get at your local craft store. I'm just kind of squirting it wherever it falls, and I'm just going to spread it out. And again, all I'm doing is I'm kind of softening the background, just dripping paint everywhere. And I'm just going to blend here so it'll create kind of purplish color without even thinking about it. I'm going to start using my heat tool now. It makes a lot of noise, so don't mind the heat tool. I hope that it doesn't scare you guys. And I don't like putting it too close to my paper because sometimes your art journals tend to warp if you put your heat tool too close. So sometimes I tend to kind of dry it a little bit and then kind of set it to the side and then come back and dry again. And that kind of prevents your paper from warping too much. But because, like I said, the quality of the Susan this new paper line is super duper awesome and it's thick. There's not too much warping that happens with this, so I don't have to worry too much about it. Your kids clean yours, Susan? So now I'm just gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna put some paint on my mat, like that. And of course getting it all over my fingers. Let me just grab a paper because I don't want to make a ginormous mess all over the place. Only because I'm grabbing all kinds of other stuff. Yeah. What did I do with that bag? I know I put it somewhere. Don't you hate when you have something and then you can't find it? Oh, here it goes. Okay, found it. Alright, so now I'm just going to grab another one of these stamps and I'm just going to use the actual paint. And I'm going to stamp some of these. They're kind of fern-like, Susan, correct me, I don't know if that's what they are, but if I'm calling them wrong, let everyone know. So just adding a little bit more texture and detail everywhere with the stamps. Is this crazy, Esther? I know. You know what? This is actually the best way to create it. Kind of, if you want to kind of de-stress, this is the way to do it. Don't think about it. Just throw paper and just go with it. And again, I'm just going to dry just so that I can keep adding layers and colors won't blend. Some of these acrylic paints do tend to get muddled if you mix them up too much, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to kind of dry in between layers. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I have one of these, what are these called? The Faber-Castell Pit Big pens, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just add some detail in between the ferns just to make it look a little bit more like what it was. Making it look, bring the details of the fern out again. I know, crazy. If I would have used just a stamp, I would have done the same way, but it wouldn't have given me the same effect. So, and then I'm just gonna kind of mess with it. I don't know if you guys know, but like these pens are India ink. So if you blend them with your finger right away, they will blend. But once you're done blending, they will dry waterproof. So that's super duper awesome. They're junipers. Cool. So there goes that. Let me clean this mess up here. Okay. And then let's see what we're going to do now. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I created this section in the background, but I want my images on the top to really pop out. So I'm going to get some watercolor paper, and I'm actually going to move this over to the side, and I'm going to stamp my little tree. I'm sorry, not my tree, my little house and my clouds and my cute little girl on watercolor, and we're going to do some coloring with gelatos and some Tim Holtz distressings, and then we'll tie everything together again with the Pitt Big Pen. So just move this over. You guys need to tell me honestly what you think of this crazy background so far. So I'm going to grab this little stamp here, and I'm also going to grab my little girl, just actually woman, so we'll do that. And then I'm also going to do the clouds, so we'll do that one as well. And then I'm going to grab some of my favorite watercolor paper. This one's also by Canson. It's cold pressed fine grain. It's 90-pound paper, which is really fun. Aww. Lemur, give them some paper and some paint and get them to paint. Then maybe they'll get distracted. So here goes that. And now we're just going to ink these up, stamp them up, and then color them. We'll fuzzy cut them too. Oh wow, actually, do I not have an ink? I'm trying to put it on here as close. I think I need a bigger block. And because I'm going to be watercoloring, you want to use an ink that's archival quality. So StazOn ink works really well. Ranger archival ink works really well. You want it to be permanent and waterproof. I don't know if you guys know, most archival inks, the reason why they are archival quality and what makes them waterproof is the fact that they are oil-based. So a lot of times when you look for a good quality ink that's permanent, just make sure that it's oil-based, and then you'll know that it'll definitely work. And then one of the good things about archival inks is that on any kind of porous surface, it dries pretty quick, but if you're working on any kind of glossy surface, it doesn't. But if you have a heat tool, you can go ahead and heat set it, and it'll dry pretty good. So just heat set it before you start doing any of your coloring, and then you'll be fine. So there goes that big old house. This is so cute. I feel like I need to share this with my kids' daycare. I think the kids would have a lot of fun playing with these big old stamps. So there goes that one. And then I'm going to stamp this little lady here. Let's see. Make sure I stamped her. Okay, there she goes. And then we'll do the cloud as well. And I think I'll probably do a couple clouds and then layer them on top of each other. Isn't that cute? I love that. Such a pretty stamp. Let's just find a little space somewhere here. And there goes that one. Okay, so now I'm just going to move everything over to the side. Move this over a little bit more so I can zoom in and kind of show you how I'm going to color these up. Here goes my stamp that needs to be cleaned. But don't worry. Even though you junk them up, all you have to do is throw them in some water and they'll clean up really well, because I just used the acrylic ink and that just needs some water. So I'm just going to kind of put some water on it just so it can... my mixture doesn't want to work. Okay, well, no water for now. We'll do that later. Alright, so I think I need to find my water flow brush here somewhere. Did it run away too? Oh, here we go. Okay, so here goes my water flow brush, and I'm going to use the Tim Holtz Distressings for this. Let me just zoom it up a little bit. And a potato brush cleaner. That's a really good idea, Lemur. Sometimes by the time that I figure out that I need to clean them up, it's too late, but that's okay. Okay, so here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color up her skin, and I'm going to do it in tea-dye ink. It's a really good color to use for skins. And as you guys know, that the Tim Holtz Distress Markers, they blend when you add water to them. So I'm just kind of, same way that you color when you're using alcohol markers, just kind of follow the heavy lines along the skin just to create those shadows. And then with your watercolor brush, which I had in blue before and didn't clean off, let's clean that off. You're just going to go in and blend it, and that's just going to soften the colors and make it bleed along the areas where you didn't put any color down. So I'm just softening it and kind of creating those shadows. And I'm going to go outside the lines a little bit on this one, only because I don't really have to think about it because I am going to be fuzzy cutting it. So this is really, really super easy. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of color along the neckline. And again, soften it with my watercolor brush. I'm sorry, my Aquaflow brush. And do the same thing again here on the, basically where the two lines meet, that's where I'm putting the darkest, heaviest color. And then since my light is coming this way, and there's basically right here, there's nothing that's touching it. That's usually what I use as my guideline for the lighter areas, since I really don't have any rules for coloring either. And then again, just blend it and kind of pull the color towards this edge. And that'll make sure that the shadows are in the inside of the image, and then everything else stays really light. So she looks like she has a really nice tan. Okay, so there goes that. And then now I'm going to go ahead and color her legs again here where the two lines meet. I'm going to put the darkest color, and then again in the inside of her legs because that's where the two lines meet again. And then right here in the area that's, again, the foot meets with the shoe. And then because these areas right here have the light coming from the outside, I leave those areas without any color. And then if I need to add more color, I add it in later, but I don't think about that right now. And again, I'm not coloring it perfectly because, again, I'm going to be fuzzy cutting it. So no need to think too much about it. And again, you can go in and add more color if you need to. I have a statement nail. It's more like a painted nail right now. I know, it's my teenager's doing. I take her to get her nails done, and she's like, Mom, you need to do this. This is what all the cool kids are doing. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Keep skipping letters in the chat. To me, that's weird. Some people that happens to, it happened to me a couple of times a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why. It's really weird. So there she goes. There goes my sassy little girl with her outfit. And then, let me see. I think I'm going to color her dress. I don't know. What color should I color her dress? What do you guys think? I want it to be really bright. Maybe this blue. I'll do some blue on her because I want it to pop. Maybe I'll do kind of a dual colored dress. Yeah, we'll do that. Hey, Raven. You know why, Raven? Because you think about it too much. You see how I'm not even thinking about it? I'm just kind of just laying color. And if it comes out okay, it does. If it doesn't, then you just start over. So again, I put all of the color on the areas where the two lines meet. So this area right here, and there's a breaking line here, and I have another area that's next to it. That's usually what I use as my guideline for the darker areas. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, just kind of around the bow. I'll probably do the area in the middle pink. Just following these little dark areas here. And then just leaving the outside white here along her hands. I'll go ahead and put some more color too. And then just grab my watercolor brush. It's kind of drying up, so I just kind of squirt it on the side and then go to town coloring again. Keeping it really light and soft. Let's just soften these lines right here. And you guys see, I don't really think about it at all. I just kind of just move the brush, pulling the colors away from where the darkest parts are. And that kind of softens it. And if you want to continue to soften it and if you feel like it's too dark, just pick up a little bit of water. I kind of just always leave like that little puddle on the side if I feel like I need a little bit more water than the brush is kind of giving me. So you guys kind of see how it's darker here in these areas where the lines are, and then it's lighter in the center because that's just white space. Aren't these fun? So there goes that. And then I'm going to use, let's dry this up because now I'm wetting up the whole paper. I'm going to soften her cheeks a little bit. And I'm just going to add a little dot of color there. And then use my brush to kind of blend it so that everything kind of goes together. And what's really funny is that I used my Lindy Stamp Gang's micas. I don't know if you guys have used those before. You can absolutely use these for coloring any image as well. So I have this little image has a lot of sparkle in it because I didn't clean my brush, but I did use Lindy's. Super fun. You sold your set. You need to get another one. Okay, so my little girl is done. So now I'm going to go and color the house. And I think with this one I'm going to go with really bright colors. Think yellows because I don't have anything yellow on my image. And again, I'm going to do that little puddle because this is a bigger space. So I'm just going to need a little bit more color to help it blend. But we're just going to blend the colors really softly. And you see how the center is kind of staying the whitest because that's that white open space. And I'm just going to keep pulling the colors towards the center, just softening the lines along the edge. So there goes that. And let me just zoom out a little bit so you guys can see it. What's your favorite paper for the distress pens? I use watercolor, and it's Canson Cold Press. Canson Cold Press fine grain 90-pound paper is what I use. That's what I found that is works well for me. And since you guys know that I have no rules, I'm pretty sure if you're a professional artist, it probably will work well for you too, because I kind of tend to junk my stuff up, and somehow it still makes it look a little bit decent. So it's kind of foolproof, and that's what I like about the paper. You can't really mess it up. So, alright, so that was, I didn't even tell you the color. That was Warm Lipstick. And now I'm going to go in and use Spiced Marmalade. I love this color. It's so pretty. So again, we're just going to lay color underneath the areas where the two lines meet. Like that. And then I'll kind of lay color around the door, because again, that's where my two areas meet. And I'll leave the outside lines out, kind of just outline my little windows. And let's see how far all this color gets us. It's amazing what a little bit of color does. It goes a long, long way with this. Do the distress markers work on stamping? Absolutely. The only thing is that because they are watercolor, you want to make sure if you're going to be using other mediums on your paper, just keep in mind that if any kind of water or anything touches it, it will blend. So you just got to be a little bit conscientious of that. But other than that, it works really, really well. So just softening this. And I love how this makes it look just really, really soft. Again, you guys saw I don't lay a lot of color on it. I'd rather put less color and then add color later on than have too much color and then have to take paper color off. Although you can absolutely remove color, but why do that if you can avoid it? So again, I need a little bit more water, so I'm just softening it here and adding water. And one of the cool things about the distress markers is that it can be there dried for, I don't know, hours, maybe even days. And if you go in and add water after the fact, it will definitely soften up again. So Don't be afraid if you leave stuff on there too long. You can go in and clean it up afterwards and still get a really cool effect. So just coloring. You thought your picket fence was done, didn't know it went on invisible. You know what's funny, Raven? I still haven't used my picket fence because I really don't know what I would use it with yet. I need to find something to use it with. All right, so there goes that. And then I'm going to use a little blue to tie in everything. Just color in my little scallops. I know, but it's like lately I've been addicted to using watercolor paper, so it's like I need to find some dark paper to play with. I'm thinking definitely Halloween, because you guys know how I'm addicted to Halloween. I can't wait to start playing with Halloween papers. I don't know if you guys have seen the new paper line by Authentique. It's called Enchanted. It's so super beautiful. I can't wait to play with that. So, let's see. Maybe I'll do the door too. I want to say look kind of whimsical, even though I did the background kind of wacky, but we'll make this all come together somehow. So just blending. And then, let's see, I need something for my windows. I don't know why, but I feel like I want to do brown inside. Graphic 45 Halloween. Yeah, that's super awesome too. So that goes brown, and then what color should I use? Maybe the same pink. Let's do the same pink here and here. My Mind's Eye, yep, that's super pretty too. The Lost and Found collection. Love that one. Okay, so let's just soften that up. Okay, so there goes our little house. And I could still go in and blend this a little bit more, but I want it to look really watercolory, so I don't want to think too much about it. So I'll leave it like that, and I just want to see if I can find my really light, here goes, tumbled glass, and I'm going to use that for the clouds. Hey, Jessica! And I'm just going to put some along these edges here and kind of soften it up. I still want them to look kind of, what do you call it, white, so I don't want to put too much. So I will blend, but I'm not going to pull the color too much out because I want it to still look white. So here we go. I'm just softening it along the edges really, really quickly. And again, because I am cutting it out, no worries if I go outside the lines. And then I'll do the same thing here. Oh, sorry, you guys couldn't see that. And I just puddled some water on it just because that'll make it really super, super light and easy to blend. And there goes that. What camera to use? I do have a Mac, but my camera is it's the Logitech. I have no idea, Lemore. It's a Logitech HD webcam C510. So that's what I use for streaming. Sometimes it works awesome, sometimes it doesn't, but today it's actually working pretty well. So I'm just gonna use my heat tool just to dry it up a little bit. Make sure it's completely dry. So I just dried that up, and now, let me see. I think I'm going to use these big giant old scissors. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see more of my crazy desk. I'll use these giant scissors to cut these out. And then I have these really fun little detailed scissors that I have here somewhere. I don't know where I put them now. Did I lose them again? Wow. I'm like notorious for losing things today. I know I put them up here somewhere. There go my stamps. I'm sorry if I keep sniffling. I don't know if you guys can actually hear me or not. But every time I go to Chicago, for some strange reason, I get the craziest cold. I think it's from, aren't these cool? Look how tiny. I can't open it. Okay, there we go. I think it's from, what was I saying? Oh, I think it's from constantly going in and out. It's so extremely hot outside, and then it's so extremely cold. Okay, so guys, you see how easy this stamp is to cut out? It's so super easy. So I'm just cutting along the lines. There goes my little house. How many markers did you use? I think so. I used tea stain, tumbled glass for the clouds. I used spiced marmalade for the house. Worn lipstick for the roof and her cheeks. Oh, look at this. And so much for doing her pink little banner here. Okay, here we go. Alright, all fixed. And I used, what did I use? Oh, and I used some vintage photo for the inside of the windows. I don't know why. Probably vintage photo is kind of a weird color to use for the inside of a house, but I don't know. That's the color that kind of came to my mind at the moment. So I'm just going to cut the clouds out. I'm cutting the little dangling piece off because I'm going to stamp it again on my actual image. But if you don't stamp it, you can always draw it on, right? So no worries. Marie can't goof it up. So there goes that one. The commercials are horrible, aren't they? So just cutting it off. Yeah, they are loud, aren't they annoying? I like that sometimes they allow you to kind of turn them off if you have to. But, okay, so we're just still cutting. I love these big giant scissors too. They work really, really well. Okay, so there goes my clouds. And then I'm going to use this scissor right here, which is like super tiny. I've never used it before. Let's see how easy it is to use for paper piecing and fuzzy cutting. So works pretty good. So tiny. You'd like a Jim Beam commercial, Cindy? You're too funny. So I'm just cutting around her hair. It doesn't have to be perfect, so as long as you don't chop off like an arm or something, you're good. Watch me jinx myself and now somehow chop off her arm for saying that. Let's see. So do you guys have any questions so far? It's awesome that we have so many experts on tonight. Like, who would have known we would have had Angela and Susan and Eileen Hall and it's like I'm here for comic relief today. Let's see, so I'm just gonna keep cutting. This is probably the hardest part out of the whole mixed media project, is just cutting out these little details. And again, you don't have to do this. This is just what I chose to do. You could have absolutely just taken the stamps and stamped them right on your image. But for some strange reason, I wanted to do it this way. I'm trying to think whether I want to actually put them on Zap Dots. I may do that just to give it kind of that three-dimensional look. That might be fun. So, and you guys know I'm addicted to Zap Dots, so, and I happen to have some black ones right next to me, so that might be the way I go with this, but not sure yet. So we're just cutting. Okay. And then, you know what? I just noticed that I can easily cut her hand along the line here of her dress and go in here and cut this white area and not mess up the stamp. That is like really rare. I don't know if Susan thought about that when she drew it. I'm sure she did, but that's brilliant. Because sometimes you can't cut stamps like that because you mess them up, because the detail is like let's say for example the hand is like directly drawn on the dress. That would really goof it up, right? You need some black dots. How cool, look at that. Super easy. You use Prisma pencils. She's so cute, I love her. Alright, so let's get this crazy thing out again. And let's see how we're going to lay this on here. So, here goes this thing. Here goes my little clouds. There goes my sweet little girl. And I don't know, I'm thinking, what do I want to do with it? Needs something. What does it need? Alright guys, what do you think it needs? Needs more color, right? I need to brighten it up a little bit somehow. Whitewash the page a little? Alright, let's whitewash. Should I use just white gesso? What do you think? Hey Carissa! Here goes my big old bucket of gesso. I gotta shake it up because honestly I haven't used it in like forever. Yeah, I'm gonna water down the gesso as soon as I can find some water here somewhere. Alright, let's pour some paint right on our table right here. I wish I had a brush, but I don't. But I'm thinking I have some of this. Maybe I could use that. Or even use my paper. What do I do with my pen? Okay, here we go. When you don't have water, just use the water from your water flow. Here we go. Am I making a big old mess now? I am the queen of my little abode. Yeah, for sure. We need one of those. Alright. Alright, so now I'm literally just like whitewashing it. And it looks like it's going on a little heavy, but believe it or not, it's so white that when I dry it with my little, what do you call that? My gun, it'll dry, and you can still see the details in the back. So, we'll do that. Okay. I think that'll make it a little bit better and make the stamps stand out a little bit more. What did I do with the paper again? Isn't this the way you're supposed to color? When you get stuff all over your hands, you know you're doing good, right? Okay, here goes my big old roll of paper. Actually, I'm going to dry some off with just my paper. I love walking with my head in the clouds. I love that. I'm actually going to write that on paper because that is the cutest sentiment ever. I'll write it with a pen. if I can find one, of course. And then we'll just add it there, and then Angela, you can go ahead and make a stamp with it. We can use it next time. So just dry it up. Okay, I think that looks a little bit better. It's a little softer, and then the images will pop a little bit more. I wish I had a screen, because if I did, I would put kind of a texture here, but if you guys saw my craft room right now, you'd understand why. Write it with paint. Alright, just drying it up. Hey, Kelly. Okay, so I think I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to grab my, what is this? Again, my big pit pen. I'm going to write, where's Angela's sentiment again? I love walking with my head in the clouds. Okay, here we go. No, I don't like this marker. This is too thick. Here comes my OCD coming out. Here we go. Let's do this. Try on the back. I still think it's too thick. Let's try this again. This marker doesn't work. I don't know what happened to it. Alright guys, you guys are going to have to give me a second to try to find a marker, because now I'm going to go OCD crazy here trying to find something. Oh, where is it? I can't find a black marker. Alright, little black marker, where are you? I know you're hiding in my room somewhere. Isn't it funny when you want to use something you can never find it? Alright guys, can you see it? Because I can't see it. Oh, let's use this pencil. Let's see if this will work. Alright, that paper's not going to work anymore because I've already goofed it up too many times. This charcoal pen's not working either. It's too thick. Oh no. Alright, you know what? I'm going downstairs to find it because I need to find a black marker now. Oh, okay. Let's see if Sharpie works now. You guys know that now you're seeing my craziness come out. I have this thing for black markers need to be black, and for some strange reason these are not black. And they're all messy and not working out the way they should be working out. Oh. Let's see this one. Yeah, that's not going to work either. What is going on today? I know I have a black marker somewhere, of course. If you guys saw my desk, I have like 600 different markers. None of them are black. And of course, that's the one that I want to use. Alright guys, I'm going to go downstairs. I'll come back. I just have to go grab this marker. Sorry. Alright, sorry, I'm back. I dropped something. Here we go. Now let's see if this one will work. Ay, ay, ay. Alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out and just glue it on here and just add some detail. I'm sorry that I went crazy looking for that marker. But I don't know. The other ones weren't working. So we'll just kind of put them randomly somewhere. And then kind of do some black lines around it to just tie everything in. If you guys are wondering what I went crazy looking for was a pro marker. I have kind of some fine line markers. Believe it or not, they're all in my car because I tend to, when I go to pick up my baby from daycare and I have to wait or whatever, I end up doodling in the car, and of course that's where they are, and of course it's dark outside, and I'm a chicken, so I was too afraid to go outside, but I somehow found my pro marker under the stairs, so. So we're just going to cut that out and then layer it out somehow. I would have used just a big pen. For some strange reason, I have a very chunky kind of font, I guess. And sometimes it just doesn't work, so we'll do that. We'll glue this somehow. Let's see. Did I change the sentiment? I hope I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, I know. I got OCD and started cutting. I just want to make sure that after all that and running downstairs like a maniac, I I didn't go ahead and redo Angela's sentiment. I love walking with my head in the clouds. I think that's what she said. Oh, okay, good. Alright, so I love walking with my head in the clouds. Now let's see how we can get this to fit here. Alright, we'll move this up. We'll put our little house over here. And then, because she's walking with her head in the clouds, I guess we need to make sure that she's in there somewhere, right? What do you guys think? Something like that? So I'm going to go ahead and get the zap dots and pop these puppies up. Let's see. I'm telling you, these stamps are so stinking adorable, and they're so fun for this kind of stuff. And I know you guys are probably going, this is probably a little bit crazy, right? And you might be afraid to try it out, but don't be afraid. You guys saw, literally there's no rolls. I mean, look at my hands. They're a hot mess. There's no right or wrong way when it comes to crafting. You just gotta be passionate about whatever you do, and just kind of stick to it. That's kind of what my rule. And if you don't like it, you can always add color and texture and all kinds of stuff on top of it. So you can't ever really mess anything up. You can always just make it better. There's always gesso, right? Gesso cleans up anything. So we're just going to clean this up here. Yeah, just be passionate about it. I know a lot of times folks are like, what made you think of that? And I have no idea. It's like you just take on some things and you start playing with them, and if you don't like it, then you can always start again. There's no, like, it's not like there's any pressure in crafting, and that just makes it a lot more fun, I think. So we'll put her here, and I think I'm gonna grab my big pen, and I'm just gonna add some. Oh, you guys can't see that. I'm just adding like a little bit of grass along the edge. Nothing too fancy. And because I have all of the paints and everything underneath, it's kind of serving as a seal, so it's allowing me to blend it without having to use anything on there. So there goes that. And now I'm going to glue this one down, and then I'm going to use my craft glue for this one. I'm going to glue the first one down, and then maybe not my craft glue since that one's completely empty. Alright, let's just stick to good old acid-free. Christian loves this. Oh, thanks, Christian. You guys need to start doing your Unity videos. I love those. Those used to make me laugh so much. And you guys do the coolest things on there, but you're also super funny and sweet. So there goes my soapbox on how Unity needs to start doing their little videos again, where Angela and Christian kind of teach us how to do something. Those are super cool. No rules. You don't need to put them on a schedule. Just whenever you guys are free. It's always nice to see you guys because you guys are always so loving and sweet together. He's going to give it a go. Oh, and remember, he needs to make sure he puts on one of those sassy little aprons. That makes it even better. So I'm just going to, I glued this one directly on, and then this one I'm just going to put on some zap dots. Yeah, nothing beats seeing him in a ruffly apron. It's super cute. Alright, so there goes my clouds. And then here goes my little girl. Alright, let me make sure I don't put her too far up because I don't want her to look like she's harboring. So, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but these zap dots are the 1/2 inch, and I cut them in half. I do have 1/4 inch ones, but when you don't find them, don't worry about it because you can always cut your zap dots in half, and that'll work really well. You can just customize it to fit your project. How did the stamp ship? I want to use them on your lifestyle. Yikes, Leamore. You guys know that mail to Canada can always be a little bit crazy. But Unity's really good. Like, literally, you order it and it's already out the door. So I'm sure if anyone can get them to you, they can. So let's see. I'm just going to put another little piece here. Put her there. Let's see. There's so many you want. Just order all 19 of them. That's all you have to do, Leamore. Just add them all to your bucket, your shopping cart. Don't even think about it. I mean, they're 35% off. You can't go wrong with that, right? And then what did Angela say? It's like $6.95 for shipping. I mean, how super cheap is that? Give me all of them, but I totally agree. Yeah, definitely. Well, I think they have a wish list on there. I'm constantly putting stuff in my wish list. I've kind of just stopped because I think I'm running out of space. They're taking over their server space with all of my wish lists. Oh, I put zapped a little too high on her. Let's put it down so that her head can actually be in the clouds. All right, and now let's glue these little puppies. You know what? I think I'm gonna just kind of subtly ink it around before I glue them down. Where did it go? Where is my little distress tool? Here it goes. Just gonna ink them just so that they look a little distressed. Frame it. You guys are too sweet. So I'm thinking it should be like more I love unity. But this will work for now, right? Cindy, are you part of the kit club? Yeah, that's true, Lemore. Susan is actually in Canada, so you can always stalk her and use hers until you get yours and then ship hers back. Look at me, I'm volunteering other people's stamps. Isn't that horrible? But you know, if you were closer to me, I'd absolutely send you mine. So just gluing. A beanbag toss competition. I know. Somehow he got away with not having a bean. All right, so what you guys, so you guys know, when I went to, I think, one of my very first CHA, which hasn't been that long ago, probably since I've only been to 3 of them, we ended up hanging out with the Unity team, and we had a beanbag competition in the hotel. So, but this year we didn't have one, so we're way overdue. And of course I lost because I'm terrible at any sport. Yeah, winter for sure. I even said we needed to make like custom ones with our logos on them, so we know that there's like no cheating or anything. Make sure that some of them don't weigh more than the others. It was really fun. That was a really fun show. Aw, thanks, Angela. It doesn't hurt that you guys make fabulous products that, help facilitate our crafty addictions. Make sure I leave enough space for this. It's just how you play. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I had a blast. So whether I won or lost, I had no clue. All I knew is that I had to throw, and I'm like, I am the worst at throwing. So I think she's good. What do you guys think? Do you think I should add some more? I know it probably needs something else. I think probably a little border or something, but I don't want to over put stuff because then that's when you start goofing it up, right? Let me zoom out so you guys can see it a little bit better. Okay. So that's how it came out. And then so you guys can, for those of you who joined us a little bit later, all of the background paper is all Susan's paper, and it's all from her new collection. You can pick that up and want to scrap. She shared the link earlier. These stamps that are on here, all these beautiful like leaf prints that I put on there, I laid them on with black archival ink on the back, and then added some paint on it just to kind of soften it up. And I love how it's just kind of peeping through, but you know that the stamps are there. These right here are juniper leaves. You see, I learned something new. that I just inked up with some white acrylic paint and just kind of dabbed it everywhere just to add a little bit more texture. Um, Thanks to Lemur, I did a whitewash on it, so I grabbed my gesso that's kind of been hibernating and just did a whitewash, so it gave it a little bit of a lighter look on the background, so it's not so harsh. Down here, all I did was I grabbed some of the Faber-Castell Pit Artist pens, the big brush, they're India inks, and just add a little bit of grass just to give a little bit more green on the bottom. Gelatos around the border of the page. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea too. Except, you know what, Lemur? I'm one of those that once I start overthinking it, I'm going to goof it up. So I think that I'm actually going to leave this puppy alone for once. These right here are the stamps by Unity Stamp Company, and this one is called Fly Away. It's the one with the cloud and the kite and the little sun. It's not little at all. They're ginormous, but they're super cute. The house was from the Little Haven stamp set. So right here. And again, super ginormous. And then, let's see. This little girl right here is from the Poison Pretty. It's vintage paper dolls. Super, super pretty. And I actually have another idea in my head, which I was planning on doing today, but I haven't. But I'm going to make some kind of a card or something and kind of put the little girl inside an envelope and add the little pieces. So it's kind of an interactive card gift. Probably doesn't make sense to you guys because I'm not very good at describing things. But once I do it, I'll be sure to post it on my page. But that's really what I wanted to do with this tonight. But somehow I ended up doing mixed media, and I had so much fun doing it. So I'm glad I ended up doing that instead. And then this right here, this sentiment was Angela from Unity said, I love walking with my head in the clouds because these cute little clouds. So I ended up just writing it, and because I'm OCD about certain things, went crazy and looked for a black pen. And what I used for that was my Pro markers in black. So that's what I ended up using for the sentiment, and that's it. And then this right here, what I use is just a mixed media notebook, and this one's by Canson Mixed Media. It's a 98-pound paper, and all of the little images on here, I colored them with the Tim Holtz Distress markers and used some Canson watercolor paper, which is cold press, 90-pound fine grain paper. So that's what I ended up doing today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the class. I definitely had fun showing it. I'm sorry that we went over, but I'm glad that you guys stuck with me through the whole class. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, save this, so that folks that rewatch the show don't have to hear all of my babbling. And then I'll stay on a little while, so if you guys have any questions or anything, I'll stay chatting. So thank you so much.